I'd never believed in ghosts or supernatural things. To me, they were the stuff of campfire stories and horror movies, nothing more. I always thought that fear at its core came from what we don't understand, and so I would explain everything, rationalize it. That was until last year, when my perspective changed forever. This is the story I haven't been able to shake. It was a regular night. The kind where nothing special happens, the kind you don't think twice about. I was up late, finishing a project for work, my wife fast asleep in the next room. The wind howled outside, but that was a common occurrence in October. The house was silent, too silent, in fact, but I brushed off the unsettling feeling creeping in my gut. After all, what could really go wrong in your own house? As the hours ticked by, the storm outside intensified, growing more ferocious with each passing minute. Rain lashed against the windows, and the wind seemed to moan and groan around the house, creating an eerie symphony of nature's fury. Around 2 a.m., I heard the floorboards creak in the hallway. It was subtle, but in the stillness of the night, it sounded louder than usual. At first, I thought it was just the house settling, but it was too distinct, too deliberate, like footsteps, but softer, as if someone didn't want to be heard. I called out, expecting my wife to answer, but there was nothing. No sounds of movement from the bedroom. That's when the unease turned into something more. Maybe she had gone to the kitchen for water. Maybe it was nothing. That's what I kept telling myself. I got up to check. As I stepped out into the hallway, there was a shift in the air, like I wasn't alone anymore. But the house was pitch black. No shadows, no figures, nothing to explain why my skin was crawling. My heart pounded with every step, a reminder that it wasn't fear, not yet, but an instinctual unease, a warning I couldn't quite shake. I walked slowly toward the bedroom, telling myself I was being ridiculous, that there was nothing there. But as I approached, I saw the bedroom door slightly ajar. I peered in and my heart stopped. Standing next to the bed, looming over my wife, was a figure. It was tall, dark, its features indiscernible in the gloom. My wife lay motionless, completely unaware, breathing steadily in her sleep. I couldn't move, I couldn't breathe. My mind raced to rationalize, to explain away the impossible. Was I sleep-deprived, overworked, hallucinating? A desperate urge to scream and charge at the figure surged within me, but I remained frozen, utterly helpless. I questioned everything. A trick of the light, a shadow. The longer I stood there, the more I realized it was neither. It was real, and then it moved. Slowly, its head turned toward me. Terror, raw and consuming, flooded through me. I froze, locked in its gaze, even though I couldn't see its eyes. My heart felt like it would stop any second. A low, faint whisper echoed in the room, but I couldn't make out the words. It was like it was speaking, but not to me. And then, before I could react, the figure was gone, disappearing into the darkness like it had never been there. My body unfroze, and I rushed to my wife, shaking her awake, babbling about what I had seen. Nothing made sense. She woke up, groggy, confused, and annoyed, telling me I must have been dreaming, and told me to go back to sleep. But I knew I wasn't dreaming. I stayed up the rest of the night, eyes wide open, heart pounding in my ears, waiting for the figure to return. I lay awake in bed, every creak of the house, every rustle of leaves outside my window sending a jolt of fear through me. My mind raced, trying to make sense of what I had seen. Had I truly witnessed a ghost, or was there a more rational explanation, one that my sleep-deprived mind was simply unable to grasp? I tried to convince myself that it was all in my head, a product of stress or fatigue. The next day, I didn't mention anything to my wife. I tried to brush it off, but that feeling, that gnawing sense of dread, wouldn't let go. I kept thinking about that whisper, that gaze, like I was being watched from the shadows. That night I stayed up again, this time on purpose. I needed to know if it was real or if I was losing my mind. I left all the lights on, tried to distract myself with TV, but my focus was on the clock. 2 a.m., and then it started again. The creaking, the whispering, the hallway, the door, the figure. It was all there. The same as the night before. This time, the figure stood closer to the door, closer to me. Its whisper was louder, sharper, like it was trying to get through to me, trying to tell me something. It wasn't saying words, it was calling a name. It was saying my name. I heard it, unmistakable, as clear as daylight. That was the final straw. I never slept in that house again. We moved to a motel for a few nights, packed up our belongings, and found a new place the following month. But sometimes, when it's dark and I'm alone, I swear I still hear it. The creak of the floorboards, the low whisper in the air, it's always there, just waiting. It follows me. In the dead of night, it's there, reminding me that it never really left. And sometimes I see shadows that don't belong to anything. It's not just a memory, it's a presence, always lurking just out of sight, watching. My wife still calls it stress, says my mind was playing tricks on me, but deep down I know better. You don't just forget something like that. It clings to you like a shadow you can't outrun, no matter how far you try to escape, and they never let go. Thank you for watching aikdastaan, where every tale is a testament to the human spirit and every voice resonates with the truth as they perceive it.